Hello, I am Jan-Nico from the Computer Vision Lab of ETH Zurich, and I present our work on optimizing long-term robot tracking with multi-platform sensor fusion, which is a work of our RoboCup team nomads. As shown in this video, we work on videos of RoboCup games, where fully autonomous robots compete in soccer matches. This environment comes with a similar set of challenges like many industrial environments, where robotic fleets are deployed, and thus RoboCup can serve as a test bench for algorithms aimed at these. In computer vision, tracking mostly relies on appearance features, which is a strong signal for following, for example, pedestrians that wear differently colored clothing. However, robots deployed in fleets are often nearly identical, which makes pure appearance-based tracking insufficient. In industrial settings, tracking from a few wide-angle cameras is preferred to reduce the cost of deploying a tracking system, as well as to minimize possible maintenance. This often only allows for a low-resolution representation of detected robots and possible markings on these. Finally, especially when the space is shared with humans, long and strong occlusions occur frequently. This is increased even further if the robots tend to cluster together like in the environment we consider. However, such a setting also comes with additional information collected by the robot sensors that can be used in the tracking pipeline. In this context, we explore the fusion of an external wide-angle camera with the information acquired and processed by the robots. The full architecture of our method is designed as follows. We use data from two sources, the external wide-angle video as well as the robot sensors themselves. We then, based on this, perform short-term tracking of the robots using an existing method and process the robot's sensor information further. Finally, we merge the short tracklets using a quadratic optimization problem. In the first step, we look at the tracklet generation. To generate these, we use Tractor with a faster RCNN backbone. It is initialized using MS Coco, and we fine-tune it on our own RoboCup data training set. The tracklets themselves are projected to the field, which requires calibration of the camera parameters, and they are smoothed using the Kalman filter. The results from the tracklet generation are visualized here, where the number indicates the tracklet ID, which is terminated during longer occlusions. This can be seen, for example, in the middle of the field where robots occlude each other, and on the right side where the referee occludes the robots. After this, we merge the short-term tracklets into long-term tracks using a quadratic optimization problem. For this, we define a set of robots IDs. In this visualization, 2 robots are used. However, in the scenarios we consider, there are up to 10 robots in total. The goal is to match each tracklet shown in the lower part of the figure to either of the robots or to reject it as a false positive. Thus, a graph is formed where the robots are connected to the tracklets and the tracklets are connected between each other to allow for pairwise cost terms. The cost function itself is represented using a one-hot encoding. Optimization variables are xij, which are binary. A tracklet j is assigned to a robot I if xij is 1. There are 2 weighted cost functions that model the cost of matching robot IDs to tracklets, and similarly matching tracklets pairwise to each other. Each cost term influencing the total cost function is weighted, and the weights as model parameters are optimized on our training set using particle swarm optimization. The cost terms we use are the following. Most importantly, we use self-localization. We use the duration of each tracklet, as longer tracklets are more likely to be true positives. We use the jersey color. We use the fallen robot information, if the robot detects if it's fallen from its IMU, as well as from the external video. and we use the trajectory continuity, which corresponds to the tracklet pair distance. Besides the cost terms, two sets of constraints are required. The first ensures that no tracklet is matched to multiple robot IDs. The second constraint avoids tracklets that overlap to be matched to the same robot ID, as every robot is on the field only a single time. Finally, solving this problem allows to merge the tracklets over the whole video duration, leading to long-term tracks of the robots, as well as their identification in the video. As our most important robot state feature is the self-localization, we will provide some more information about it here. To make use of this data, we aim to compute the distance between the robot self-localization and the location of the robots detected in the external video. This requires a mapping between the two coordinate frames. This is especially challenging in our setting, as an uncalibrated wide-angle camera is used. First, we estimate the radial distortion coefficients by leveraging the fact that field lines should be straight. Groups of points belonging to the same field lines are selected and used to formulate the optimization problem, according to Alvarez et al. In a second step, we use the known structure of the field and compute the extrinsic parameters and refine the focal length estimate if required. An example of the self-localization projected to the image frame is shown in this video. We evaluated our method on 3 matches acquired at RoboCup 2022, where the mean player identification recall is used, which provides the ratio of correctly tracked robots. As a baseline, and to show the requirement to go beyond appearance features, we adapt deep sort, where we increase the mean player identification recall from around 44 to 88%. To provide a strong baseline, the deep sort matching time was optimized over the test set, and the track IDs were initialized using an oracle. We furthermore provide an ablation study that shows that self-localization is the most important feature. However, every loss term contributes to the total performance of our approach. An interesting behavior of the ablation study is apparent in the plot on the right side, which shows the cost term weighting during ablation. While the fallen flag has only a small weighting factor for the whole method, it becomes an important feature when removing the self-localization cost. This is due to the fact that fallen robots allow the unique identification of robot IDs, and thus help to match the robots rather than only track them. Overall, in this work we presented a sensor fusion-based tracking approach for robotic fleets. Our algorithm is able to use noisy information acquired and processed by the robots, and fuses it together using a quadratic optimization approach. Overall, our pipeline is able to robustly track the robots over a long video sequence and allows for identification even after long occlusions.